Madame, Monsieur, bonjour et bienvenue sur Tea Time, votre rendez-vous quotidien au cœur du Royal Golf Dar es Salaam et cette 50e édition du Trophée Hassan II et la 29e édition de la Coupe Lalla Meriem. Place à notre invité du jour, une légende vivante du golf mondial, l'une des grandes stars du PGA Tour Champions, présente ici à Rabat, qui nous fait l'honneur de sa présence sur ce plateau. Alex Cejka, bonjour et merci d'avoir accepté notre invitation. Thank you for accepting our invitation. It's a great pleasure to have you here on Tea Time on Media TV.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Welcome. Alex, you are one of the most resilient and versatile players of your generation, with titles on the European Tour, the PGA Tour, and an incredible run on the PGA Tour Champions with 3 senior major championships. This is not your first participation in Trophy Hassan II. So first of all, how do you feel to come back to Rabat and compete once again in Trophy Hassan II and on the red course of Dar es Salaam?
Yes, no, I think we are very honored to have a tournament here. Unfortunately, I didn't come last year, but I came here a couple of years prior. And obviously, we used to play the European Tour here only here as well here in Agadir. So I came here already in the 90s when I was playing on the European Tour. It was always great. People are really nice and friendly. The weather is always great. So we always loved it to come here. And it's a special treat to have a special tournament, joining the ladies kind of. It's like 2 tournaments in one. And we love it. And I think we have a great time.
Alex, you've played in the finest courses globally. How do you find the challenge of the red course of Dar es Salaam compared to the other courses in the world?
Yeah, it's really challenging. It's a beautiful course. It's a great layout. It's tough though. It's very long. The greens are very undulated. Now we always used to play a little bit earlier, where it was a little bit softer. The greens were softer. The golf course is softer. Now it's really firm. So it's going to be a tricky game. It all depends how they set up the golf course. But the golf course is in spectacular shape, and we are looking forward to play it. Just, hopefully they're going to put the pins in decent spot and not like on the big plateaus and make it really, really hard for us.
Alex, you visited Morocco during many occasions. You also told me that you know the country from your childhood. What other aspects of this country, its culture, its history, you became familiar with?
I started to come here when I was a teenager, when I was an amateur. I think I was like 14, 15, and the weather in Germany was always so bad in the wintertime. So my dad decided to practice. I think we went down to Mohammedia a couple years in a row in the wintertime, and I fell in love with it, with the sunshine, with the people, with the friendly. I love like the Moroccan food, and although some of them are very spicy. But, that was a long, long time ago when I was 14 years, and I haven't been back for quite some time. But coming back here a couple of years ago, it felt like I was here like just 2 months ago. Nothing changed. People are the same. I recognize so many faces from back then when I was young. They followed a lot of the guys I know here who are either caddies or just members. They recognize me from 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's nice to see familiar faces and, being part of such a warm, hard country.
You told us that you were coming to Morocco when you were a teenager to practice golf, but at which moment of your life you said that golf is going to be your journey professional?
Yeah, I was practicing as a teenager pretty hard, and I loved this game. And I watched Bernhard Langer like in the 80s, late 80s, to play. We used to have in Germany like the German Open, the German Masters. So we had a couple of European Tour events, and I was a kid and I was grinding. And then you see like names like Olazabal, Bernhard Langer, Seve Ballesteros, Sandy Lyle, Nick Faldo, all those guys playing on your home course or right next door, and watching those couple tournaments when I was like, almost finishing school. I was like, this is what I want to do. I love golf. This is what I want to do when I finish school, and that's what I did. I finished school and then decided to become a professional, and here we are, 30 years later.
Yeah. You've played for many years at the highest level from both sides of the Atlantic, winning multiple titles. Do you feel that your ability to adapt to different styles of courses worldwide has been your greatest strength?
But it's a challenge, you know. I turned professional. I played a lot of years in Europe, on the Europe Challenge Tour first, and then European Tour. And we have different golf courses than America has, or the rest of the world. So I played, 10 years here in Europe, and then I think in 2000 I went over to America and tried to get my tour card through the tour school, and I made it. So the last 25 years I've been playing in America. Yes, it's a different golf, it's a different culture, it's a different, you have to adapt to it a little bit. It's not for everybody. Some guys adapt quicker, some a little bit later. But I loved it. I love America. I love travel, being from Europe and playing the European Tour in the early stage of my career. I noticed, and the European Tour used to play everywhere, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Australia, they played everywhere. So for me, starting to travel and then go to America and, play part-time Europe, part-time America, then full-time America, it was for me a little bit easier change for some other people, but it was still challenging. But I love it, and I love it. I love to play golf. It doesn't matter where you play.
Yeah.
And it's a great hobby. It's a great sport. It's a great job for me, and I don't regret any minute.
Let's turn now to your international team career. You proudly represented Germany at the World Cup many times, and even at the Rio Olympic Games in 2016. Of all those moments playing for your country, which moments presenting Germany you cherish the most?
I was always a team event. That's the difference between golf. It's an individual sport. Sure. But when I had the opportunities, like you mentioned, the World Cup, I think for Germany, I think I played like 13 times. I think the most of any other countries. I loved it, and I always loved when I was picked or when I qualified. The same with the Dunhill Cup, the same with the kind of the World Cup we have on our Champions Tour. I love playing team events. It's great. The biggest success, not success, but the Olympic, I want to say, was unique as well, because it was the first time since 100 years, golf came into the Olympic circle again. I loved it. It was a great experience to play the Olympics. I didn't make a medal, but just to be there playing the Olympics, actually being called an Olympian, it's a pretty good achievement. But I love to play team events. Even we have in a couple of weeks in America a team event as well, and I'm looking forward to it. But for right now, I have to focus on my own game, because this week you play on your own, you count your own strokes. So we'll see what we can do this week.
Alex, as you know, countless legends have played here at Dar es Salaam. I will give you 3 names, and you will pick one of them to be your match play partner to play here. Okay? Are you ready? Billy Casper, Nick Price, and Seve Ballesteros. Which one of them?
It's definitely Seve Ballesteros, although it's tough to pick. 3 legends, 3 big names. But Severiano Ballesteros is one of my idols when I was young, and I had the opportunity to play with him on the European Tour many, many years ago. And I learned a lot from him, and his charisma was incredible. So I definitely go with Seve.
Thank you. Alex Cejka, we really appreciate you to take the time to be with us today. Thank you again, and good luck for this week.
Thank you for having me, and inshallah.
Merci Alex Cejka, et merci à vous de nous avoir suivis. Bonne suite des programmes sur Média TV.